Welcome to Mario Kart. It's Sunday night. Time to do some Sunday night speedruns. Time to adjust this camera. Should have done that before I went live. What is wrong with you, camera? You're fired. Got some Koopa Troopa Beach coming up. This will be my first track with top 300 time. I have no top 300 times, not fast laps, not 3 laps. So I'm working on the 3 lap Koopa Troopa Beach, and I think it's showing me what a task it's gonna be to gain these top 300 times. Now my overall site rank on MarioKart64.com is 363 right now, so I'm close to top 350, which is pretty cool. And that's like the worldwide site ranking. So that's cool. But I'm not satisfied with that quite yet. So welcome, let's do some Koopa Troopa Beach. I haven't played since I last saw you guys last Sunday night, so should be interesting. If I recall correctly, this ghost from last week, the lap 1 is really strong for this ghost. I'm also new to playing with the zoomed out mode. I started that 2 weeks ago, the zoomed out view. Overall, it gives me a better vantage point on the tracks, but it you definitely feel the zoom, that's for sure. Ooh. Fun little warm-up. Ah, it sure is. What's up, Hydration? It is that time. Some Sunday night speedruns. So yeah, I was pretty pleased last week with the progress. I mean, I think all those top 5 times you see right there were all, well, maybe they weren't all new last week, or maybe they were. I remember it was like a half a second improvement, but I need another half second improvement tonight to actually get a top 300 time. All right. Oh, let's get hyped. Ooh, missed that. Made turbo. It's a pretty good lap 1. I forgot to look at what the time was, but it felt good. Wave race. Nintendo has an infatuation with like that announcer voice kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like their Smash announcer. Remember when they had him do like a whole half-hour Smash Bros. Presentation? Like in that voice? That must have been for Smash Wii U. I don't think that was for Ultimate, was it? Who knows? Both those games are old by now. We can't remember that far back. That's just asking too much. Ah, oh, dang it. Yeah, like a sports announcer or whatever. I watched the F1 race today, as I always do. Being a race announcer would be cool. Yeah, F1 is cool. Told you used to cheer for Haas. They're the best team. Well, they're the American team, but they're not the best. Not at all. Yeah, F1 it's special, man. It's not like I have no interest in any other racing whatsoever. So like I'm not a racing, just a random like racing fan. But I am an F1 fan and have been for 3 years now. I don't know. I just always tell people, watch that Netflix series. Watch the first episode of Drive to Survive, that Netflix show that's pretty popular. Watch the first episode. If you like it, you'll like Formula One. Because that documentary was what got me into Formula One, and I've not regretted it. I mean, just the basics, like, F1 cars are the fastest cars on Earth. They're like way faster than NASCARs or, you know, whatever other kind of racing there is. They're just the fastest cars in the world that can get from point A to point B with a lot of turns in between. And the fact that there's only 20 F1 drivers, period, end of story. Like, there are 20 seats in this thing, and each year the 20 best drivers in the world get to do it. And those 20 drivers are split amongst 10 teams. So you have, all the teams have little variances between their cars, but the driver's greatest competition is the other driver who is in the other identical car. So, you know, like even if one, you know, team is way better than the other teams, there's still two guys on pretty close to equal machinery, like, that are on the same team. And they still have to fight against each other. Even if one team is way ahead of all other teams, there's at least, you know, one other person on equal machinery. It's one of the things with racing is you're just like, who who are all these people in helmets? Like, you just don't know who they are. Or care, right? So it's like, there being only 20 drivers period in this series is just like, oh, okay, I can actually know every driver and what country they're from and a little something about their history. Like, and that's very easy to do. Versus any other sport where there's like a bazillion people to keep track of. You'll actually never know every player. Golf is similar. I heard Full Swing is good. I heard that's really good. What makes Max so good? Max is unbelievable. But he's been struggling this season. Like, their car is not light years ahead of the other cars like it has been the last couple years. So yeah, he's having to really work for it now. And his teammate, who's on like an identical car, like his teammate today was like in 17th place and Max was in 2nd place. Like, if that tells you anything. Max is just really, really, really good. He's an alien. The way that, so there's a really cool interview where someone who used to be on Max's racing team, which is Red Bull Racing, he describes Max's abilities as a driver like sort of like a video game. Like, he described it as like the sensitivity settings on Max's car like are on maximum, and that's the way he likes to have it, and he's really good at it that way, to the point that no one else can drive under those conditions. So his teammates just get eaten alive because it's like if you're used to playing a shooter with a controller or something, and then you flip over to mouse and keyboard, and you're expected to like be on max sensitivity, but Max Verstappen can handle that. So that's how his teammate described it. I didn't describe it so eloquently. 28s, lap times in the 28s. Okay, we're warming up. We're gonna need him in the 27s here. So yeah, for Max Verstappen, it's like a perfect marriage between incredible driver and very good car. To where he almost won every race last year, which is unheard of in racing. He's just that good, and their car was that good. But a bunch of other people and teams have caught up this year, and so it's a lot more fun. My favorite driver won today. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Dude's a beast. He's almost 40 years old, which is very old for a racing driver, and yeah, he's the man. Yeah, they're on, it's not the exact same car, like, but it's very, very, very close. It's the same engine, you know, and the same basic components. It might have slight differences strategically, like, hey, we're gonna make your front wing a little bit more this direction. We're gonna make the wing a little more like this on your car, and just to try certain things out. But these machines are basically the same, that the two guys on the same team will drive. Oh, thanks for the good luck, Vansky. Good luck with your NTSC runs. I can't believe how good you are on the mushroom cut. On Mario Raceway, I'm just like, holy moly. I got a lot to learn. Enjoyed the stream, man. Yeah, they can make slightly different cars, but the engine, the power unit, all those things are so expensive to develop. My understanding is they're identical between the two cars on the same team. Let me see these lap times. All right. Yeah, the trailer today was the first they've shown it. I mean, I have high hopes for it. Like, considering it's the people that made Top Gun, you know, and there's a lot of comparisons between let's try to fix this camera. It's really depressing me. There's a lot of comparisons they're trying to draw between race car drivers and fighter pilots, which I get it. I mean, I've driven over 100 miles per hour in my car in my younger days, right? Just like, I had a Taurus SHO, which used to be kind of cool. If you don't know what that car is, you can look it up. It's a pretty cool vehicle, and like, I would go like, I was like 17 years old, and I would just be on the highway like an idiot, and I would be like, okay, nobody's around. I'm gonna go like 100. And one time I was like hitting like 110 or something like that, and then, but it feels insane going that speed. Like, you feel like you're gonna, in that old car, it felt like the wheels were gonna come off. Cars today are a lot smoother. That was like a 94, I think, that car was. Anyhow, but just like, you know what it feels like to be, you know, going 90, 100. Imagine going twice that speed and doing it on track, you know, and passing cars going that speed. I mean, that's insane. I don't care who you are, that's wild. 115, it feels slow. Yeah, maybe it was the car I was driving, or the fact that I was so young. Like, oh, I'm gonna die. I don't do that anymore. I don't live on the wild frontier like you do, Vansky. Yeah, that was the best run tonight. Yes, you should absolutely top out your car. You should get arrested. Absolutely, highly recommend it. I am a lawyer. Please take my advice. I'm a doctor too. Hellcat out. 140. Unreal, man. Unreal. Nationally ranked drag racer. My granddad raced a little bit, like stock cars. He would say, I used to race stock cars. I guess that's kind of like NASCARs. But it wasn't actual NASCAR or anything like that. I got into F1 racing like long after he died. He would have liked to know I was into racing. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking, and he would be so proud of me if he knew I spent hours every week Mario Kart racing. He'd be like, what? You did what? Proud of you, son. Oh, that was weird. Vansky, what was that? What was that? I kind of want to watch the replay. Oh, hey, Vansky. Thanks again. Thanks for the raid. I don't know what I did coming out of the tunnel. I'm going to have to... Let's watch it again. I don't know what I did. Whatever I did, like... I forgot to use my shrooms for 2 laps in a row. And also... Was it the tree I hit? I ended up sitting on the water puddle. Like sitting on the... I ended up at a full stop, sitting in the water. The waterfall water. I've got to go more aggressive at the start. If you're fast enough and hit just right, you won't tumble. Yeah, I think that might have been what happened. It's on lap 2, so we just got to wait a second. Little break for the hands. A little hello there for the chat. Oh, here's... What'd I hit? The left side?
Hello there.
Hello there, everybody. What did I do? Hit the left side of the tunnel? It still looked weird to me. My eyes couldn't even move that fast. I think I like sort of hit the left side of the tunnel coming out of there, but it literally was a blink of an eye. It felt weird. Man, I was liking the way that was going too. Come on. Dang it. Sort of recovered it. Oh, whoa, hey, whoa. For the most part, I feel like I'm picking up close to where I left off last week. Like, some weeks I feel like, oh man, it's going to take a while to get back up to speed. I feel okay on the derusting side tonight. Not too bad. Jeez. But yeah, I watched that trailer for the movie called F1 coming out next year. My biggest takeaway, Brad Pitt looks very young for his age. I don't know what this guy's doing. That was a good exit there. Okay, look at that. Lap 2 and 3 have the exact same time. Look at that. Identical. By rights, lap 1 is usually has potential to be my strongest. So we gotta get better. That lap 1 was slow. Dang it. Wow, what a great lap 1 that was. That was a good lap 1. Yeah. Oh, right there, that mini turbo. I needed it. Yeah, I've always expected these top 300 times would be where really the rubber met the road. I think it comes down to, like, at certain points in your, speedrunning journey, whatever you want to say, I think it comes down to just plain patience and being willing to grind and not being too hard on yourself. Dang it. That was such a weird one. Weird recovery. Just to get into the tunnel. Oops. The 3 P's to successful kart: patience, persistence, and perseverance. I thought for sure one was going to be Pilates. Dang it. What was wrong with that? Must have been me. Whoop, whoop. Air enhancing drugs. The other P is psychedelics. Save it for the Olympics, right? How about this enhanced games thing? Have you guys heard about that? I watched those guys interview with Rogan, and I was like, oh man, they're serious about this thing. Hey, whatever works for you. This dude is roided out. I'm playing Super Mario Kart. Just completely roided out of his mind. Roommate's just frightened. He's like, shut up! DK Jr.'s the best! Shut up! But these guys, yeah, the enhanced games, they're like, basically everybody involved in the Olympics is lying. And a lot of the very best people have found ways to skirt around the performance-enhancing drugs thing. And then the honest ones are getting screwed. And we're gonna have a competing set of games to the Olympic Games, and we're going to call them the enhanced games, and everyone is going to be on all kinds of performance enhancing drugs, and it's going to be all above board and sanctioned by physicians and all of that. Sounds fun. I didn't see the time, but it felt like a good lap one. Took that a little wide. $27.89, okay. I'll need some better lap times than that, but that's pretty good. Your NTSC flap time. Oh, nice. Oh, wait, you beat your PAL flap time? For DKJP on NTSC. What?
Enjoy your gaming.
Oh, thanks, Iggy. So far, so good. I am enjoying my gaming. We're just getting warmed up. Welcome, welcome. Hope you got back safe and sound after Disney and everything. Oh boy. Dang it. Man, I was going for it. Tied with Ullman, Tracy Ullman's son. Made it back, all got sick. Oh no. On the upswing now. Jeez, Iggy. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Other than the sickness. Wow, if that attempt there didn't show that there's more time left in the tank, I don't know what will. This can be done. I don't think I submit my time that I had last week. I didn't feel like it was good enough. Hydration with the sub. Well, thanks, Hydration. Dang. Appreciate that. Sure do. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you need more. It's all about the channel points. We gotta have a wave race ready and waiting at all times. I mean, even with kind of crummy laps and stuff like this one, I can feel the consistency. It's getting there. As I'm reading your comment, I'm like, it says Wave Race Redemptions, and I'm like thinking about what Red Dead 3 should be. It should definitely feature jet skis. Wave Race Redemption. The new joint sequel developed by Nintendo and Rockstar. Wave Race Redemption. Can't be missing many turbos like that, Nikki. In hydration, you got one of those first badges. There's only a couple of those left, if I'm not mistaken. Smokey and the Bandit. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I swear the only thing with Jackie Gleason that I've ever seen is The Honeymooners. That's right, when I'm partner. When I'm at, when I'm streaming live and there's 400,000 people watching, you'll have that first badge and you'll feel great about it. When Summoning Salt comes a-knockin'. This guy wasn't even good enough to be in the top 300. Something like that is probably what he's gonna say. Sorry, that wasn't really even an impression. It was just like... a half effort. Do yourself a favor and watch Smokey and the Bandit. Wonder what streaming service it's on. I canceled Netflix. I said goodbye. I'll probably fire it back up again at some point, but not right now. Although I did want to watch the Tires show, and I was kind of like, oh man. And then I said, oh well, I'll just watch YouTube. Because I do pay for YouTube Premium, and I would not cancel that. Nice. Come on, boys. Oh boy. I mean, that was pretty much all I could give it. The journey to stardom. What you got for me, Vansky? I'm laughing at this clip. Oh, Vansky. There's no way that you could have come from my loins. The first thing I'm gonna do. That's unbelievable, man. That is so funny. All right, that was a good clip. Do I see a future sound alert? I don't know. Maybe. Against Twitch TOS. Hey, sir, you cannot have jokes about such things as punching someone's mom in the mouth. Oh, okay. So sorry, Mr. Twitch. Oh, Nikki. Why do I keep calling myself Nikki tonight? No one's called me Nikki for a very long time. Vansky's wife is like, what are you watching right now?
Good luck.
Oh, thanks for the good luck. Thank you, Zat. Hope you're doing well tonight. Zat, we appreciate you. Glad you're here. Another sore throat and runny nose. Oh, man. Yeah, it was barely a couple weeks ago you were pretty under the weather. Yeah, I had my struggles this week. With my throat. I noticed you've been a bit quiet on the streaming front, is that? Harder to stream when you can't speak. Or honestly, if you have to save your voice for more important things like work, family. Well, that right there, the game is basically broken. Like, don't let that get you down, man. I mean, one of the cool things about your stream and doing Ultimate Steam Quest and all of that is like your dedication to what you set out to do in each game and such. But man, if the game is broken, it's broken. That's not your fault. Yes, a bit of a sandy rut, that's for sure. I did have multiple, you know, PB improvements last week. But I was on this track for about 3 hours last week, and I might be on it for another 3 tonight, just trying to earn top 300. I think it's a couple things. I think there's the jump from top 400 to top 300 is going to be a significant jump. But also, I kind of think I need to just grind a track right now and quote unquote do the impossible kind of thing. Instead of doing something easier. If that makes sense. That makes no sense, but that's what I'm doing. I knew I was cutting that a bit close, unfortunately. Reach all top 300s. It's possible, Hydration. I'm taking it as it comes. During the, I mean, my rank right now is 363 on the site. So, I mean, my actual rank is pretty close to top 350. It's not quite there yet, but like all that said, I think if a bunch of these I get into the top 300s, that'll be, that's the only goal that I'm thinking about right now. And I'm thinking one thing that I'm going to do a little differently for top 300 than I did for the previous like top 500 and 400 that I did, is I might go and do like the 3-lap and then go immediately into the fast lap on the same track, because I'm already, you know, I have the track fresh in my mind. I'm already de-rusted everything, and I'm thinking that's a smart way to do it. But we'll see. And yeah, I plan on just running this game for quite some time. What's actually more likely is I start to stream other games just a bit more after I hit top 300. But we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling like then. Right now, all I feel like doing when I'm streaming is making improvements in this game. Oh, hey. That's got stipulations. I already have stipulations on fail to function games. And the fact I got it to work once means it can work, but I am close to kicking it aside. Yeah, it can work. It can work. But will it work? It's possible. But Took that way wide, unfortunately. Hey, that was a fun attempt, though. That's my first 3-lap in the 123s tonight. Those first couple laps were fun. Last lap, definite fall behind there. Dang. First 2 laps were solid. Unlike sometimes, my Ghost is my PR on this track right now. That's my only goal at this very moment, is defeating this Ghost. This Ghost was me last Sunday. We hate me from last Sunday. I didn't want to turn because it would have slowed me down. Ended up sacrificing the whole thing due to that. There's this Japanese place that's like 10 minutes from my house. It's new and it's delicious. Order some ramen tonight. Because yeah, as we were just saying a minute ago, sore throats, they're a thing right now. And yeah, ramen was perfect for that. It's kind of a simple ramen, like it didn't have a lot of the stuff, but it did have some good bamboo. Wait, bamboo? No. It had some good, like, those sprouts or whatever. Just a little bit of green onion in there. Noodles were good. That tonkatsu broth or whatever, delicious. Little pork belly. That's what you get in your ramen if you know what's good for you. Get that pork belly. I don't want to hear about this chicken ramen. I don't want to hear nothing about that. It's an abomination. Yeah, it was delicious. It was a good run. Yeah, those like bean sprouts, the little like skinny, crunchy. They mix in with the noodles really well and just like, man, so good. Not like really thin bean sprouts. They're thicker than that. Because if you're thinking like really, really thin bean sprouts, like wavy little tendrils, it's not that. Yeah, sort of white, sort of clear. Yeah. Exactly. Whoa. Did you see that? Remind me, we gotta watch the replay on this one. That was crazy. Holy crap. Oh, missed that MT. That makes me so mad. It's my own fault. What was that first lap? 27:51 or something? Dang, that was good. I mean, it just goes to show what's possible here. If the consistency can be found. Watch the replay. Yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yeah, the angrier I get, probably the better I'll do. Watch this replay. Yoshi parkour is what we call this. Look at that. Look, he bounced off the rock, and it sort of, in effect, was a speed boost. Doing. It just lined him up perfectly. Good job, Yoshi. Now I can do it another million runs and maybe do that same thing one more time. I know my controller camera is just weird tonight. I gotta adjust that or something. Perfect. Yeah, you're just like, why is this ghost so good? I'll never pass this ghost. And you so easily forget, like, that's how you felt about the last ghost. And the ghost before that, you know. Your mind plays tricks on you. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I liked the spacing on those mini turbos I just did, but it's hard to recreate that. Yeah, this is the first week in a while where I haven't been able to do any midweek streams, or even like an extra like Saturday stream or something like that. Usually I slip one of those streams in there, but not this week. Too much going on. And then next week I might have to adjust my schedule a little bit, but I'll put something out there, either on like one of those Twitch stories or something that notifies everybody. Got my anniversary coming up. Not my Twitch anniversary, but like my actual like wedding anniversary. Not my stream anniversary. My wediversary. Head up to Ohio? Oh, sweet, dude. Go to Cedar Point while you're out there. Yeah, I may not be streaming next Sunday night in a rare turn of events. Oh, July 28th. Yeah, we got that July anniversary as well. Poconos. The Poconos. Pro Football Hall of Fame. Oh, cool. 11 years, Zat. Congrats to the Zats. Mr. and Mrs. Zat. Remember when anniversary celebrations used to be in the newspaper? When I was a kid, I remember seeing that. Indeed, Zat, indeed. I remember payphones. I don't think I've ever used a payphone, though. Because by the time I was, you know, at the age where a payphone would be used, I had a cell phone. So, like, I think I got a cell phone when I was, like, 15, 16. Long before the first iPhone came out, right? This was like pre-BlackBerry. I don't even know if Blackberries were out at this time when I got a cell phone. It was before the huge consolidation of phone companies and stuff. I had like a phone that was like Alltel or whatever. It was like this other brand or other like phone service other than Verizon and AT&T. Alltel. .5S. My first iPhone was a 4. Which I got, that was probably 2010, iPhone 4. Yeah, Vansky, you might have me by a couple years. Because I knew pagers existed, but they were never the in thing. I don't remember them being cool. Now doctors still carry pagers, and it's cool to be a doctor. Dr. Vansky. Paging Dr. Vansky. Oh, shoot. My fundamentals are getting a little better on this track. I had a friend who had a, I want to say it was a Sony Ericsson or something. And it was one of the first cell phones I messed around with. And I was so jealous he had the game Snake on it. And I was like, oh man, he can play this anytime he wants to. Anytime he wants to, he can just open his phone up and play Snake. So jealous. Zan, I just watched a YouTube video, or part of a video that was on Snake, Rattle, and Roll, your all-time favorite. And here's the dummy I am. I didn't realize that game was developed by Rare. I did not know this. I did not know that this is a Rare game. Even though you've probably even said it on this stream, because I bring up Rare frequently. Just hadn't clicked with me. I know. How could I not know? Flappy Bird. Oh, Nick. Oh, shoot! This is the run. Did you guys see that? That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Aw, Nick.
Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands.
Praying for a miracle. Yow! That clip was insane. Yeah, lap 2 was... Yeah, I haven't seen that Ghost Yoshi make a mistake once. Whoop. Oh boy. We're getting close, guys. I can feel the breakthrough because I'm like frequently ahead of this Ghost on lap 1 now. Frequently. 27:55 is a killer lap for me. Oh, Nick! Y'all. Y'all, I double tapped the Z button. No. 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 Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh my.
Almost had it.
Almost. Oh man, the double Z. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. Failed mini turbo is not what you want either on the first MT. The grind will provide, my friends. The grind will provide. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do, when I get this 3 lap eventually here, I'm going straight into the fast lap. That's what I'm gonna do. While I'm used to the feeling of the sand between my Yoshi toes, I'm gonna go straight in for the fast lap. Ooh, good start. Oh boy. Barely made those corrections. Oh, wasted start. Start was good. If I'm on the wet already, I need to just do the left MT. I don't need to do a right one. If I'm on the wet sand already. Whoa, 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 whoa! Trying for that parkour again. That was weird, but it sort of worked. Goodness. I was behind on my mini turbos that whole lap. Yes. Go, go, go! Yes. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yes. Yes. Oh, double. Yes. All right, cool. Save that ghost. We're gonna want that ghost. I just want to watch this. On that last lap, I did a big dive. Off of the ramp into the cave because I was like, oh, I need just a little bit of extra time. I need to do that on more laps.
It's a new lap record!
Right there was a big issue. Without that, we might have been looking at a top 300 time. I was trying to remember, I'm like, I know I had some kind of an issue on this lap, or on this track that was pretty major. But yeah, this subtle left hand, yep, that right there, helped me with an actual decent cut there. All right. So 1:23.27, we need to be 0.2 faster. 1:23.06, I believe is still the goal. Let me double check that, by the way. Improvements can always be made on these tracks. Let me see what the top 400 time is. see if our target is a moving one. Technically 124.07 would count too. That's a rank 400, 124.07. I'm gonna edit that for the technicality of it. Or oops, oh gosh, yeah, in my head, let me just tell you how crazy I am. I just went in my head to top 400. Let me look at top 300. Yeah, 123.05. Let's just change that now because there's been a slight improvement up ahead in the field. Okay. 123.05. Okay, okay.
You have questions.
Yeah, hydration.
I have the answers.
You are correct. You have questions. Why is this new ghost so good? Yeah, exactly, Zat. Exactly. All right. Whew, had to take a second to chill. Now we're back in it. What would be great is to get the sub 123. That would be fun. That cave entry, that was a very good one, a very good example of it, what I should be doing there. It's more risky, but might be necessary here. Oop. You have questions, I have the answers. Definitely took a risk there with that crab. Holy moly. My MT really got stuck there. Yeah, that crab jump was wild. Trying to take a faster path. Oh gee, well this is not a faster path. Not whatsoever. Crab is not my friend. That lap was definitely fast enough to get the job done. Come on, boys. Come on, Yosh. Dang it. I liked that one too. I got quite attached to that attempt. Yes. No. We crabbed across the line. Yeah, quarter-second improvement. Not too shabby an improvement tonight. That's really good. Gotta go another quarter-second. Let's get a good opener. Yeah, that was... I liked the entrance, but it made my exit tough. trying to remember, even if lap 1 is not ideal, there's major time save on lap 2. The Ghost has a really rough lap 2 cave, so let's stick with this. See how much a difference it makes. Definitely brought me closer. Flew too close to the sun. Goodness. How many adjustments does it take to get on the ramp, Nick? Sometimes you mix up your smoke colors with the Ghost ahead of you. I did the parkour again! Twice in one stream. Yoshi, we did it! It's a moral victory. Not one for the record books. But an achievement nonetheless. Oh, dang. Oh. Not my favorite lap one there, but we can always reset. Ah! Missed a mini turbo badly there, but that's all right. We're gonna catch up right here. Ah, oh, shoot. Man, it was... This is doable. I know it's doable because I'm making quantifiable errors. And I can still be neck and neck with my ghost. And it's like, if that's the case... If I can avoid some of these errors, that bodes very well. Very well. I think I'm cutting off one of those mini turbos a little too early. Well, actually, I'm sure I'm not optimal on any of them, but... Jeez. I missed that mini turbo, and that's going to cost me. Truly, that lap 2 was not that great. That lap 1 was great, though. Yeah, that lap 1 was really great. 2 and 3 sucked. Lap 1 was great. Missed that main turbo, and that sucks. Come on. Parkour. That crab wanted to be my best friend. Yoshi was like, no. Gotta remember lap 2, I gotta stay in the shallows. In the shallow, la la la. Alright, never again, sorry. Parkour! Come on. Ah, man. Uptime of 1 hour 45. All right. Okay. Come on. Goodness gracious. All right, 2-minute break. I'll be right back. Be right back. back at it. Handful of granola on that break. After my little breaks, I usually like to talk about what I snacked on. $27.76, not too shabby. Shoot. Goodness. So if I wait that long to do that last mini turbo, there's something about the terrain there that eats the input. I don't think I want to wait that long. .28 is not a good lap one. It's not going to be good enough for the kind of time that I want here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty not so good. Yeah, it is oddly hard. Like, you can do it right 50 times in a row, and then you can miss 2 in a row. It makes little to no sense. There's a lot more to it than it even seems, and if you've played the game, you know, like, it's not cut and dry, like, just get in front of the ramp and drive straight up it. It's trickier than that, for sure. When I was a kid, I thought it was impossible to do without a mushroom. Like, that's what me and my friends thought. You had to use a shroom to go up it. So obviously, that's the place to use the shroom on time trials. It's like, no, you can actually approach it. No shroom. We didn't know nothing. Oh boy. Those crabs are getting very friendly. Retranslation, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Big time. I wasn't liking that one very much. Don't burn yourself out. Love it. I'll do my best. This is probably the biggest jump of a goal that I've gone for. Like, all tracks top 500, then all tracks top 400. The jump from 4 to 3 is pretty wild. I know it's gonna take a little bit of digging deep. I'm prepared for that. I have not been voting in the Carter contest. I don't know anything about it. I'm so sorry. Tell me more. Oh man, missed that mini turbo. I did not like missing that mini turbo. Glorify Mario Kart popularity contest. Oh, that's fun. Voting for hydration. Gladly. Gladly. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Getting into that water really throws off the mojo. Oh boy. Avoided the water, that was good. Yes. Andy, what's up? Yep, that was a pretty good lap 1 and 2, not too bad. Oh, you should, Andy. My top 300 attempts are a little rough right now. Top 400 was a cakewalk in comparison. Oh, this thing? Yeah, I don't know how to do it the right way. But no, I don't. I know what you're talking about, though. Yes. Stay in the shallows. Please remain calm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep very on pace for the first 2 laps. I'm gonna have to be ahead the first 2 laps because my lap 3 on that Ghost is strong. I've got to beat this Ghost by about 2/10. My Ghost from a half hour ago. And that'll do it. That's going to require pretty darn good lap 1s and 2s. Oof. I don't do that because I don't care, says Andy. There will be certain things that I'll have to learn along the way. That's one of them. But not worried about it right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. I want to be ahead of this ghost before the tunnel. Is that even possible? It is. I should have kept it straight. I wanted that leftward angle. Oh, general strategy for speed. Well, it's really all about the execution of these little things called mini turbos. So you can see, like, if you just want to do a power slide in this game, it looks like that. But if you do this like left, right, left thing, well, you know, because there's mini turbos and or these kind of things in a lot of Mario Karts. So you're going left, right, you're making the colorful smoke come out, that sort of thing. But after you do the mini turbo, you want to go as straight as possible so that you maximize the speed off of it. And so that's the main thing. The main thing is like the fewer actual like turns and adjustments you do in this game, the better. That could have been like the most basic explanation. Sorry if that was oversimplifying things or something. Mario Kart 64 is super optimized though. It's like even to be you're good at this game if you're even in the top 500. And that's the spot where my ghost from a few minutes ago makes its like one significant mistake. In the cave. Oh, man. Rough one. Yeah, the snaking thing, I'm familiar with it. I've never done it. By the way, Hydration, send me a link or something. I'll put in a vote. Absolutely. Got too greedy. Got too greedy. Oh, man. Oh, Nick. Yeah, here's where my ghost screws up in the cave. Allows me to get a little closer, but not close enough, I don't think. Let me run this lap 3 though, because I need some practice on this. That's the approach I want in the cave. And then right here should be just straight home. Do I have a forum account? Welcome guest. Please log in or register. No, I do not, Hydration. And that's a bridge too far for me. If it's like a separate account for the forum than it is the regular site. Sorry. Okay, separate account. I'm voting for you in my heart. We know this is the most important vote of this year though, right? Alright, enough of that conversation. Let's end that right now. Hydration for Prez. It's a good lap 1. Good lap 2. Come on, boys. Let's go. Okay. Slight improvement. Slight improvement. Slight improvement. Okay. New ghost to race against. And at the end, yeah, oh yeah, any missed MT is gonna ruin my day. At the end, I'm like torn if I need to, even at the very end, I'm like, I'm gonna try to throw an MT in there, and it's like, maybe it would be of more value if it was earlier. Maybe I have to actually stay to the right of all the crabs at the end. I want to watch a little replay of that. Let's do a little replay here. I remember not being too happy right in here. You kind of have to do that little Superman jump to stay ahead of that ghost right there. See here, I don't know if going to the right of those crabs is the way to go. I think I'm gonna keep the same general crab line. All kinds of errors there. All right, Hydration. Good luck to you for this week. Thanks for hanging. So far, 2 PBs tonight. Actually, pretty big improvement on my best time coming into tonight. Yikes. Let's get to the end. I was trying to keep that lap on too clean. Missed the ramp as a result. I'm guessing this lap will be a little poor because that opener of this lap was really poor. Gosh. Give it a few more minutes of grind here. Can't be up that late tonight. Ooh, I kind of liked that lap too. A little disappointing there. Parkour. Good. Don't do that, Nick. Don't do that. That inside track. Tricky, but necessary. Yes. The crab. The crab. I mean, I don't know if I can save the ghost. The crab. That was a good time. That was a good time. Wow, that really makes me want to go to the right of those crabs on lap 3. It's hard because I've never been at that pace. I don't know where they're gonna be when I am at my best pace ever, if that makes any sense. So the line I've been doing gets a little more treacherous. Apparently. That was kind of a weird lap. Oh, hey, Amity, thanks for the raid. I just got a PB that included a crab at the end of lap 3. It was bittersweet, to say the least. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, casual. What's up, everybody? The Martys are everywhere. Top 300 is a lot harder to achieve than top 400, I will tell you that. But I'm super close. I just got a 123.11. Hello there. Jeez, thanks for all the follows, guys. All right, Nipple Baby 69. Thanks for the follow. Hey Mars. Tim Bob, what's up? Sturtiles Style. What's up? Sketchy. What's up, Chance? Schlunks. Ozzy Arzy. Hey, Soft Serve. Alright, y'all. Let's do something. Thanks again, Abney, for the large raid. Appreciate that. Slow on the trigger there for that. Dang.
Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands.
This raid's like a jukebox. See, yeah, I mean, basically to stay out of the water, I'm gonna need to do that. I'm gonna need to take that path to stay out of the water, but I need to go to the left of the crab. That's what destroyed me. Ugh. Zat, you were there. You saw it. You saw it. We were on pace. How did the Abney runs go, guys? I caught a couple attempts. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh gosh, just input's getting eaten like crazy on that slope. I hate that. Oh, pfft. Premature pause. Few good ones. Gold split. Oh man. It didn't quite go my way. Really, for this time that we're going for here, I can't have any obvious mistakes. Thank you so much for the follow. 27.75 is not too bad. It's not great. But it was a good opener to lap 2, so maybe it'll balance out in the end. Jump too early. Really appreciating all the follows, guys. We getting sort of near 200 followers, which is cool for me. I've really gotten into speedrunning this game. It's the only game I've ever speedran. It's the only game I plan on speedrunning too. Been at it for a few months now. Pretty steady improvements. And this is the first track where I've really attempted to go for a top 300 time. My rank on the site is in the 360s. And this track is making me earn it, man. That's for sure. Yeah, to stay out of the water, gotta go left of the crabs. But maybe it's because I'm not doing my mini turbo angle the right way. Maybe I need an additional one to sort of skirt around and zoom past the crabs on the left. I'll have to try that in my next opportunity. A very good lap for me. 27.55. That was a good one. Dang. We'll screw up there, but that's all right. Give us a chance to see the crab patterns here at the least. Unless I screw up the ramp. We'll never know what the crabs look like. Started watching this documentary on Disney Plus today with my daughter, and it's that one about building the Disney parks. It was cool. One of those things like you wouldn't watch on your own, but you know, want to have something going in the living room and that everybody can kind of enjoy. Yeah, it was really great, actually. Good one. Yes, 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 yes. Oh no! No! Okay, rocket kicked me way wide. Oh man. Jesus should have taken the wheel just like half a lap sooner. Yeah, so like that mini turbo right there, bringing me more to the edge of the wet sand. That's what I need on lap 3 for the sake of the crabs at this pace. Okay, at least I learned something. Jesus took the wheel and taught me something. Cheapers. How's everybody feeling about Monday? When this stream ends, guys, the weekend's over. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. This is the last good thing that our weekends have. Listen, y'all, we got this. We can handle it. It's just another Monday in a life that's a string of Mondays. We can do it. On pace is good because my goal is like a 20th of a second faster than my best. So if I'm on par with this Ghost, that's pretty good. I am a little concerned if I'm not ahead, even like at this point of lap 1 though. Really, I've got to be ahead of the Ghost from the jump. Let's be honest. From like this point on, I definitely need to be ahead because the Ghost actually has a little screw up there at that first ramp. Trying something new. Didn't really work. So I usually try to do the right hand mini turbo on at the end of lap 1 and didn't do it that time. Didn't really pan out. This is how far I want to be ahead. Right-hander, left-hander, Mr. Mini Turbo, not great. Dang, working for this one. There we go. Come on. Trying to make my own shortcuts or something this attempt. Oh, that water just really killed it. Well, too slow. There we go. Got a little something here. Staying out of the water is a good idea. Alright, guys. Final attempt. Then we're gonna hit up a raid. That's gonna do it. Let's go see what Gray's up to. Thanks so much. Thank you, Abney, for the screen, for the raid, man. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, y'all follow if you want to before we cut the stream here, because I'll be back next Sunday night. More speedruns, but maybe even before then, because this KTB is really haunting me, and I've got a little unfinished business with this ghost. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.